Hey everyone, my name is Ari Bovorts and welcome to the Stuttering Skater channel. I stutter and I skate, so that's pretty self-explanatory. Today I'm going to talk about the USD Aeon 80 and my experience with them from an urban skater's perspective. This is an aggressive skate, technically speaking, as you can see with the sole plate and the H block in the middle. First impressions of the skate, the things I really enjoyed about the skate as I skated it more, as well as what things I struggled with a little bit. Before I go any further, I want to thank Inline Warehouse for sponsoring this video. Thank you so much for supporting my skating and supporting the channel. If you would like to get these skates at Inline Warehouse, I will attach the link below, along with a discount code which will get you 10% off of most purchases on the site. That discount code is stutter, STUTTER, extremely on brand. The USD Aeon 80 is a really interesting skate, and it's a skate that I always had a lot of interest in because it is an aggressive skate, so it's something that you are able to grind on to, you know, a lot of jumps, caps, transitions. I actually really enjoyed skating these in a couple of bowls in the New York City skate parks. First impressions of this skate when I put it on was, this is fun. This is just, it's smooth, it's quick, and it's like a really awesome hybrid. I had a blast on these off the bat. Like I was concerned that, you know, because I come from a hockey background and I use a lot of edges, right? So how I turn ultimately, or how I gain speed, is I carve hard on either inside edge or outside edge. So I was concerned that because it has a pretty big sole plate, that as I was, you know, crossing over or turning hard in a transition, that there would be a risk of me going too far and hitting the sole plate on the ground, specifically on the outside sole plate. So if I'm gonna, you know, turn sharply left and my left foot is gonna have to be on its outside edge, I was concerned that this was gonna hit the ground, which would ultimately make me take a slam. Surprisingly, I did not have any issues with that at all. I was able to do, you know, all of the normal type of skating I do as an urban skater and as someone who comes from hockey, who really enjoys, you know, different edge work and like all that kind of stuff. Did not have any issues at all. Thing that I most enjoyed about this skate, and it has nothing to do with it being an aggressive skate, it has to do with it being a single construction boot. So there's no detachable frame here. The entire skate is one solid piece of plastic. And what that is able to accomplish, because there are not any screws or bolts in the frame, you're able to actually get the wheels significantly lower into the boot, which will give your, you know, you're able to ultimately sit significantly lower than a typical skate. And like you can even see here in the back, hopefully my camera will pick this up, that like this back wheel is it's like really sunken into the boot. The same with, you know, this as well. It is manufactured very precisely, and the concept of having a unibody as a skate so that you're able to have a larger wheel setup sitting significantly lower down to the ground is for me was a game changer. This is probably the urban skate that is the lowest to the ground. And I really felt that, and it was just a great feeling of power transfer, having an element of stability, and it was fun and it was light. Another thing that I think should be mentioned is the fact that because this has an H block, which is designed to be able to grind, which I'm obviously not an aggressive skater, so that's not a discipline I'm qualified to be critical of in the slightest. But because there has to be a little bit of an extra space for an 80 millimeter wheel setup, this has to be a little bit longer in order to accommodate the H block. So this means that this frame length is about, I believe it's about 270 millimeters long, if I'm not mistaken, which is significantly longer than a typical stock 80 millimeter setup, which I think really helps you have a stronger element of stability and get kind of a flow in your urban skating as a whole. I just like feel more stable. I have more of a base. For context, this is how most urban skates come stock. It's a 4x80, but it's a 243 millimeter setup. So while I think this is a really good starting place for a lot of people, and my first setup was a 243 millimeter 4x80 frame, it's just, you have to, like, everything you do, if you're gonna do a little bit of jumping or you know, or even, you know, try to get more speed, you kind of have to be very precise. Have a huge platform that is supporting you, as opposed to, you know, a frame that's a little longer. Here, let me see if I can. It's gonna give you a little bit of extra stability. Someone who likes to skate fast, skate with confidence, do an occasional air, you know, jump over things that, you know, we constantly have to deal with in an urban landscape. Like, a longer frame really lends itself to that. With that being said, I did try a couple frontside grinds on these, which, if you know me, you know that that's where I get very humbled very quickly. But I went to a skate park and they had a P-rail there, and I was able to like get a couple for frontsides in, but I will say that in order to not hit the wheels, you really have to get down fairly low, you know, in order to make sure you're sliding on a plastic and you're not too upright. Like, I was upright a couple times and became a taco, and it's unfortunate because it was not a Tuesday. Taco rail, it's when you basically fall and you kind of fold over the rail because you're it was super fun. And everything else in the park, transitions, you know, the banks, airs, small little gaps, like so much fun at speed. It was amazing. I really enjoyed that. Only thing I felt is how it comes. So this has, this skate features a cuff that can be rockered up or it can be rockered down. Who would think that having the cuff higher would give someone more support? And I know that this is counterintuitive, but I felt the opposite. If you rocker it down, it starts to like, it's obviously like doubled up a little bit over here. And it's actually stiffer. So when I skated it and it comes out of the box, it came for me rockered up. For me, I was too uncomfortable. It was just way too soft for me. Because it is an aggressive skate, like it's not going to fit the same way an urban skate necessarily does. Like in comparison, the power slide in X is much, it just like the whole entire shell is much more rigid as a whole, which offers, you know, more of the support you would typically see out of an urban skate. Put the cuffs down, I rockered the cuffs down, and I felt significantly more stable and more comfortable. To sum everything up, I think this skate is awesome, and I think it's super, 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 super fun. I do think that there are certain things that need to be fine-tuned a little bit more. I think having a more supportive cuff or a cuff that you know, is able to overcompensate a little bit for some of the flex pattern, if you're skating it as an urban skate, would make me feel a lot more comfortable having it as my go-to urban setup. Just the idea of having a skate that is a 4x80 on a frame that's a little bit longer with a unibody construction. So you're as low to the ground as humanly possible, while still having a big wheel set up on a frame that will give you a little bit extra stability. I think that possibility to see where this concept can go, like not only as an aggressive skate, but also as an urban skate, is extremely exciting. And people enjoy having a skate that's light and that, you know, doesn't have a heavy, you know, like a heavy construction to it. And I think that that's a really interesting thing to kind of like tease out. That, like, you know, the you know, this mold is specific to the Aeon and it only exists as an aggressive skate. I would really like to see an urban skate that is a unibody construction with the longer frame that, you know, is a decent quality. I think that that'd be super, super cool. And you know, I don't know if it would be my go-to urban skate, but I would definitely like skate that significantly more than a lot of
the other skates I have. And again, thank you so much to Inline Warehouse for sending me the skate. You can pick it up in a link in the description. Use the code stutter, STUTTER, for a 10% off coupon. Let me know if you have any questions. Always here to help. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really like it. Tell all your friends that the Stuttering Skater is on YouTube and starting to attempt to make long form content, which is so easy. It's extremely hard. I'm kind of overwhelmed.